Hi once again, everyone, and welcome to another University of Houston Alumni Association interview. I'm Tom Franklin, and my guest today is James Campbell. He is the Director of External Communications and Community Relations with the Memorial Hermann Hospital System. James, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Tom, for inviting me.
Tell me a little bit about James Campbell. Who are you, and how did you get to be a Houston Cougar?
Well, it was a long and kind of circular story. I didn't start at U of H, but I got here as quick as I can.
That's good.
I could. I started at the University of New Orleans, thought I was a pretty good baseball player and wanted to go up there and try to make that team as a walk-on, and went to New Orleans against all the protests from my dad, who said, go to U of H, and if you don't like it, you can go up to University of New Orleans. And as most kids, most teenagers,
we don't listen.
I just went up to New Orleans, hurt my arm. My baseball career was pretty much over. I decided, I'm coming back to Houston. I got over to the University of Houston. Best decision I ever made. They really got me prepared for my career. First in journalism as a reporter with the Houston Post, and then subsequently with the Houston Chronicle. I love this university. I think that, like most Cougars, we feel like we are not respected for the great research institution that we have, the great teaching institution that we have. And I think that it's like Houston. People who we recruit into Houston, they get here and they go, wow, I didn't know this existed. Mm-hmm. And U of H is like that. Once they get here and realize all of the great institutions and faculty and all of the wonderful research that we do over here, they find that we are a wonderful Tier 1 university and second to nobody else in the state of Texas, in my opinion.
So a communications major when you were here?
Yes.
Any professors, any classes that really stand out to you?
Absolutely. Two professors stood out to me, Campbell Tishner, and
he was my faculty advisor,
and David Lindley, who was law and ethics professor at U of H at the time. They really were good, really great at shaping you and really making you, from the law and ethics side, make you understand what your responsibility would be as a journalist and where the lines were, and you really understood that. He really challenged you to understand that, and it served me well when I got to be a newspaper reporter, because I understood where the lines were and when I breached, or if not to breach that line, and have some
just how far you could push.
That's exactly right. Have that, kind of inner, sense of, not to cross a line. And Campbell Tishner was really good at getting you to think beyond just the obvious in trying to tell a story. I also had a really good interest in photography, and at the time, Ken Cobrey was over here, and he was a, Pulitzer Prize winning photographer and one of the great photography teachers around. He left U of H subsequently to go to the University of Missouri, but we'll excuse him for that. But I think that getting a U of H education really shaped me to go out into the world and be a ready for prime time player. And I took, what I mean by that is they had vehicles like the Daily Cougar that I wrote for as a sports writer, and KUHF Radio, where I went over and did the sports in the afternoons, and realized that broadcast was not my forte, and that it was going to be newspaper, son. You don't really get those words out really quickly enough to be a broadcaster, so go ahead and go in the newspaper. And so I decided that I was going to shift my focus and become all print, and it really worked out well. I had the ability to, unlike some reporters who have to take this kind of nomadic trips around the country to get back where they really want to be, I didn't have to do that. And I think U of H is largely responsible for that. because they put me in a position to go over to the Houston Post and have an internship in the sports department where they can really look at me and my abilities, and they said, wow, you're pretty ready now, and that gave me an opportunity to pick up some beats over there, and then I decided sports is not what I want to do. And I got out of it.
Baseball player and all this stuff. Sports is not what you want to do.
That's exactly
How did that
right.
happen?
It gets really weird. But I decided that I wanted to do news, and so I left and went out to a little paper out in Humble and Kingwood, and I did some sports over there. They put me in that sports again because that's what I did. Mm-hmm. And then I came back into Houston and became a sports information director. And my U of H connections helped me again because I was up the road at Texas Southern University where I was SID. And Jay Goldberg was over here at the time, right. And I called Jay up and I said, Jay, they offered me a job as sports information director over at TSU. I don't know anything about it. Tell me everything that you do. and he helped me out a great deal. He was really good, and of course I could always call on Ted Nance, who right. was really, I think, the dean of SIDs in these parts, and so that was the thing about U of H. It was a family, Tom, and if you were part of that family, they wanted you to succeed, and I think that still exists today. It's a nurturing environment, and those people, and they not only encouraged me, but they challenged me to be better than I could be.
There are a couple of principles that you carry from the things that you learned at the University of Houston all the way through your career right now at Memorial Hermann?
I did, and that is to always do the best that you can do. And when I first got to Memorial Hermann, we had a whirlwind of media from, we had Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was at our facility. Right. After the tragedy that happened in Arizona. And that was just media from everywhere. And even though I've worked in media on the other side, I never had the media horde really...
The frenzy that you had at this particular juncture.
Really coming at me. And U of H trained me to, one, step back, assess the situation, and then address it. And I was able to do it, one bite of the elephant at a time, and it really did serve me well in dealing with all of this media frenzy that hit Memorial Hermann. When I got there, actually, I'd been there a month, and wow. All of a sudden I get...
Talk about being thrown into the fire.
Oh, that was a serious fire. But fortunately, I had other UH grads there who helped me, and they had that same really solid training, and we were able to get over it and really do a good job. And now we're being asked to come and do presentations on how do you handle a media frenzy.
How do you handle a crisis situation?
Yeah. And I've really learned so much from being, just after I left U of H, I continued to be involved with professors like Ted Stanton, and Ted was really good at just talking through media with you and anybody else who would listen if you knew Ted Stanton. And we always, at the Chronicle, I always encouraged them to go after U of H grads, and because I knew they would be prepared and ready for prime time. And they have great internship programs over here. And my training, just that basic foundation that I got when I was a student here, has really served me well throughout my career. And the one thing that I do know about U of H is that it's a great support system. And if you love the Alumni Association, they will always be supportive in everything that you do. And I think my wife knows that there are two checks that she writes every year: the tax check and the Alumni Association dues. And so, that's something that just happens in the Campbell's household. And I think a testament is when alumni send their sons and daughters over here. And my son's indoctrination started really early. My sister has a son, and she has him in UT gear all the time, where anytime Philip comes around, my son Justin, he sees red and white and the Cougar hat and t-shirts. And so that's a testament to U of H. I want my son to, he's 13, I want him to attend the U of H, and because I think they will offer him the same kind of education or better than I got, because the university hasn't stood still. It's evolved over the years to become better. They have all of the technology and innovation that any student can get anywhere else, and that's the beauty of being a Tier 1 institution. Private industry recognizes that you are producing great kids, and U of H probably has a share of job fairs where people come over here and recruit our students, not only from the J School, but from all over this university with its departments and professors who are producing kids who are ready to go out into the workforce and take and do great jobs out there. So I love this university, and I'm gonna be a Cougar in my heart for the rest of my life, and I appreciate coming over here and being able to talk to you and find out that you too are a Cougar grad, because I did not know that actually until we started talking today.
Well, I have a lot of the same lineage, just it went in the radio side more than the print side that you did.
Okay.
So, but our paths did cross quite a bit. We went down very, very similar roads along the way. Well, you can see the pride that James Campbell has for being a University of Houston alum. We know you have that same pride inside as well. Why don't you show it by becoming a member of the Alumni Association? All you have to do is join us on our website, www.houstonalumni.com. There you'll find out about all our various membership plans. We have them for new graduates to longtime graduates and everything in between. Once you sign up to become a member of the Alumni Association, you're helping us to continue with the programs and services that we've offered for years, as well as develop scholarships for deserving U of H students along the way. And for signing up to be an Alumni Association member, corporate benefits come your way as well. We'll help you out on your power bill, choice energy, with car rentals if you ever need that, whether it's here or on the road with Avis and Budget Rent-A-Car, Landry's Restaurants for dining out, just a couple of our corporate partners that will give you benefits for being a member of the Houston Alumni Association. Sign up today, www.houstonalumni.com. For James Campbell, I'm Tom Franklin. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the University of Houston Alumni Association videos.